Hey, so March was a pretty busy month. Between GDC, getting sick, and other life stuff, it's getting more and more hectic to play every single demo that comes out, which I think we all saw coming. But somehow I convinced myself to look at the demos page again, and was instantly compelled to investigate every single thing. So here are some things from March that I enjoyed. Developed and published by Stein Makes Games, DigDigBoom has an unmistakable art style and a very smart stop-time, turn-based feel. Mining puzzle with a Sokoban core, its lovely moment-to-moment mining puzzles are enrapturing. I love how many of the materials are dealt with, from icicles you can stand on to the last-minute leaps from a mining cart. It makes DigDigBoom give puzzling a more thoughtful execution in its real-time-esque time logic. It possesses a healthy amount of depth, revealing more and more nuance with each level. The intricacies of some of the solutions I found I'm sure were only that complicated because of me, but the ability to sight-read solutions and come out victorious was empowering nonetheless. The nuance of each material and how to navigate through the puzzles has a charm in how they are handled, and the cute quirky animations certainly don't hurt. I will say tutorialization levels could be laid out in a more obvious order, but not to say it's not well done. It is. The tutorializing is efficient and clear with minimal text to use. I appreciate the main room layout in relation to their levels, and it's pretty clear that some of the level rooms are blocked by needing to understand certain items or mechanics. And I appreciate using this tried and true Metroidvania-esque idea to lock levels. I thought it was pretty witty. DigDigBoom is due to come out the fourth quarter of this year. Developed and published by Aurobidan Games, a retro arcade affair, Autonomous Anarchy reminds me of renting an NES game from Blockbuster in 1992 and just signing up for an experience. It may not sport world-changing mechanics, but its use of enemy spawns, energy doors, and unlocks and keys, I could see me and a friend playing through this entire game in co-op. Which of course I didn't experience for this demo, but the thoughts were there. With an art direction that makes me bring up Herzog Zwei and enemy death animations that make me wonder if they are pixel-perfect recreations of GTA 1 deaths. The level design at the beginning may not be anything life-changing, but it's the beginning, what do you expect? What was impressive was the first boss fight, an experience I wasn't expecting in such a game, but it's extremely well done and had me super engaged. Autonomous Anarchy has a release date of to be announced. Developed and published by Hideworks, a basic memorization game wrapped up in horror experience, The Devil is in the Details is a genre and experience I normally wouldn't be interested in, but the spooky art direction and sound design was enough to keep me trucking through until I began to see some real variety in the gameplay, reminding me of some escape rooms I have done in which the pairing of fear and memorization is a tried and true mechanic. The game does a good job of building tension each time you get judged for your choices. Initially, the environment and your judge are the primary sources of the unsettling nature of the environment, but as you progress, the amount of items you have to recall grows, and comes to the eventual introduction of "don't touch me" baddies, which instantly made me forget everything and fail. These new baddies made me wonder if there is more in store as far as the evolving mechanic in later levels, and what those might be like. I will say, data streaming for the levels is a bit choppy, but that stuff is hard, and it's a demo. Be nice. Nonetheless, it was still haunting, and whoever made that judging ritual for the levels is a weirdo with nightmares I want no part of. The Devil is in the Details release date is to be announced. Developed and published by Grim Talon, what I really thought was going to have twists and turns and maybe even a wall-breaking narrative turned out to be just a very well-done 90s handheld experience. Or at least, as far as the demo lets me know. The tutorializing in the Fall of Elena Temple is well done and slipped in there slyly, and I just plunked down and played through the whole demo and liked it quite a bit. I will say, as a child, I car rode through 5 states with an original Game Boy, accepting my fate of motion sickness for the good of beating Super Mario Land 1, so I do have a head start on appreciating its design and aesthetic. Maybe more than some of the youngins, but all sorts of people like all sorts of things. There is a little bit of a Boomerang Kid DNA in it, but as I told you before, we don't talk about Boomerang Kid. Anyway, the countback powers and their execution are really simple and smart puzzle mechanics, and I'm a little jealous I didn't think of something so straightforward and elegant. So I guess I'm saying I enjoyed it. The Fall of Elena Temple has a release date of June 2024. Developed and published by Perfect Random, Sulfur is probably the game that will be making the biggest splash this far on the list. An intriguing cultish plot and mysterious start, a talking pendant that definitely has no ulterior motives, I wanted to play it more, but its roguelike nature and procedurally generated levels meant for some real dedication to get to the big boy weapons. Its art is very cute, sporting cool character designs, and the controls are very good. I do have a little gripe. These little diaper demon guys, I'm maybe just not a good gamer boy, but dang if dodging them seems impossible. Basically, it was just run for your life when a group of them were around. I can't help but feel a little bit of a tweak to their attack timing is in order, or a dodge, unless there is one, in which case I'm gonna feel real silly. But anywho, the story is certainly intriguing and makes me wonder if there will be a strong narrative ending or twist that continues the loop, or if it's just relying on its roguelike nature to keep people in the loop forever. There are some moments of ugly ends and tails from the procedural levels, but it's just a demo and I'm sure we'll see it evolve and develop more as time goes on. Sulfur is slated for release this year of 2024. Developed and published by Certain Bubble, maybe the most unlikely contender for my time this last month was CubeGuy. With very smart platforming and only a little unrefined at this moment, CubeGuy is extremely well done if you can get along with its battle system, which does possess a little awkward of a camera angle, but that may be the point. It has a Super Meat Boy meets Mario and Sonic in its platforming, and I really love the combination. Somebody's really done their level design and ability progression homework because it's smooth and smart throughout, and I mean smooth. From baby stepping through each mechanical increment to crescendoing in elegant combinations, I couldn't get enough. Part of me just wanted to do platforming always, but I do enjoy the cutting it up with an interesting and original battle system, which sports rhythm-tied animations and attacks. This game checks a lot of boxes in my loving games checkbox sheet. I will say though, some hesitations I had were, at times it felt a little unclear in the battle mechanic of the combo success rate being tied directly to the amount of hits you would achieve. And I think there are out of 13 hits, but it just felt a little unwieldy in its communication. And not to nitpick on design, but why is he brown? Maybe there's a good reason other than player visibility on the screen, but he lacks cuteness that I crave for such an agile platformer. And of course, it's a demo, but I only pick on it because I was so impressed. The biggest ordeal I had was an hour and 15 minutes into the demo. As soon as I got to the portal level, the bloom and out of focus effects made me instantly fatigued and it was far too difficult to look at. And sadly, it was followed by a boss whose meticulous movement made me instantly put down the game, which upset me after so much positive on this game. But these all require small adjustments, and in the land of demos, it could already be different by now for all I know. In any case, I loved what I played and was blown away by its execution. CubeGuy is dated to be released next year, 2025. Developed by Bitmap Galaxy and published by Grindstone, Preserve is a tile-based nature puzzle city builder. A pleasant spin on the format and slipping in just the right amount of nature education, it's one of those mechanics of aggregating an environment that produces enough synergistic points you move on to the next level. I think games like this are really coming into their own these days. Just the right amount of pressure and relaxation. Its soothing music and calm atmosphere really lifted me up, even when dropping a pack of wolves into a biome to rule over other creatures lower on the food chain. If you are into lovingly crafted meditative games, I certainly would keep my eye on it because it seems to do all the things just right. Preserve is due for release Q3 of this year, 2024. Developed and published by Iodine, as a vibe, Pillory gives me so many things that I love. A dark ethereal realm of brooding, retro bit industrial battle music. It's beautifully drawn, and it has lovely character themes and sound effects that make an Undertale mama proud. Some of the songs are just straight up jams, and I could loop forever. The characters and their first-person animations are beautifully crafted, and sometimes even throw my hat in the air good. And yeah, that's a saying now, throw my hat in the air good. What? Combining many smart ideas of modern minimal RPGs, Pillory has some really cool compromises, like random battle encounters, but you can see them coming and dodge if you want. And there are fail states, but they aren't exactly with a heavy loss. The battle animations and messaging are hauntingly cute and very interesting, but I will say the abstract nature of the visuals and battle system are both the strength and the weakness of the experience. Some overly eccentric map design can be a little confusing, and I never like when I go up into a door at the top of screen just to come out the next room going down. And also, the battle system is a little bit too cryptic. with no real tutorializing for the first 40 minutes of play, which may be the intention of the creator, and I can dig that, but maybe I need to wait for the full game to truly understand what's going on. But I'm certainly curious about the system, but I still have questions like, if my best move is my first move, then why would I choose any other move? But of course, I'm just getting a demo taste of it. In any case, Pillory is certainly interesting and beautiful and creepy cool, possessing beautiful art and music, and its due date is coming soon. Developed and published by Flyway Game Inc., Commander Quest is a strategic roguelike card-building auto-battler that is reminiscent of if we combine Bad North, Thronefall, and an Isle auto-battler. It's a well-executed and addictive game with all the tried-and-true mechanics of its staple point genres. It's one of those things that, if you know, you know. So for those looking for another game to fill the strategy roguelike deck builder hole in their chest, it's this. Commander Quest is due out Q4 of this year, 2024. Developed and published by 100 Stones Interactive, the straightforward first-person puzzler Memories Reach has a brief demo, one that only gets to present a limited view into its mechanics, which given an entire game I can only assume has more to it than I saw. But as a fan of first-person puzzle games set in sci-fi settings, it instantly got my attention. There isn't much more to report on it, it's got neat graphics, and the puzzles the demo does have are quite nice, and made me think only a little, which is exactly how I like them. Memories Reach has a release date of to be announced. Developed by Whistling Wizard and published by Critical Reflex, with a vector-styled art and a comic book presentation, Rose and Locket is a Western platformer that brings a lot to the table. Many may see a limited indie platformer, but its execution of tone and imagery is inspiring and deserves attention. Solid voice acting and easy to get a hang of mechanics, there was more than a few scenes that made me wonder why more games don't have a lot more style. With silhouette action scenes that make me think of panels from Sin City or Samurai Jack, and a tutorial that's in a cinematic. Sliding action scenes that reminded me of one of my favorite overlooked games, The Artful Escape. Rose and Locket is cool, and I hope they develop a challenging and inspiring experience, even if they are an underestimated studio. Rose and Locket is hecka slick and slated for coming soon. Developed by Ilka Inc. and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc., SandLand is coming out at a sober time for fans, but nonetheless, I'm happy to finally see the game come out. The demo was fairly limited, but I'm down from what I saw. The battle system seemed fun, and the vehicle combat was plenty satisfying. Mobbing around with your crew with some limited demo banter was also fun. There have been some early reviews of people less enthused, but if you're a fan of Akira Toriyama's work, I don't see any reason to be concerned. As a person that loved Blue Dragon as a kid and grew up watching the neighbors' weekly VHS recordings of Dragon Ball Z, there wasn't much that was going to get in my way of immersing myself into another awesomely entertaining world by Toriyama. SandLand comes out April 25th, 2024, and I hope it feeds us all well. Well, that's it for the end of March demos. Life's about to get pretty hectic for me, so I guess we'll all see how I fare on this monthly ritual. And of course, as you know, if you have any recommendations, inspirations, salutations, feel free to reach out. If you think I'd love or hate something, I want to know. This has been Fib Likley and Play Games. It's the only art form the audience gets to participate in, so participate harder.